So Drew and I were recently talking about when we were younger, and even sometimes now that we have more responsibilities, how it's kind of hard to get that extra cash for car parts, tires, to go to track events and pay for the entrance fees and all that stuff. So we wanted to put together a video for you showing you some ways that you could maybe make a little bit of extra cash on the side so you can keep your fun going. And that's coming up today. So what's going on, man? You trying to party or what? Oh shit. Okay, so maybe that wasn't my best idea, but we were talking about making a video where we could make extra money on the side and stuff.
I thought you were talking about doing Uber.
Oh, yeah, that's probably a better idea. So setting up an Uber account really isn't all that hard. All you have to really do is go in through either the app or online. I chose to go through the app. When you go in there, it's going to ask you to enter your email address, and then you are going to enter in a phone number. Once you get inside, you're going to have to upload some documents like your driver's license, insurance card, VIN number of your vehicle, and get all of that set up. Once you are good to go with that and everything's been approved, you're set up to drive. There's nothing else that needs to be done. You can actually go through multiple vehicles. So if you want to do Uber Eats or if you want to do actual Uber and pick people up, you can cycle through vehicles based on what you want to do. If you want to do Uber Eats, you can have a two-door vehicle. If you want to do Uber and pick people up, you have to have a larger vehicle. They won't really let you do it with something like a Mustang. That's why in some of the videos that you see where people go and pick others up in a Lambo or a McLaren or a Bugatti, they registered it as like a Toyota Corolla or something like that. Depending on the area that you're in is going to kind of determine how much business that you get. So in my little area, you get some hits here and there between the hours of, I want to say like 6 to 9, sometimes around noon, but they're kind of few and far between. Now, if you go closer into the city, a metro area where it's busier, there's not a lot of people who want to go driving around downtown. You'll get more business. So really, it's just deciding where's the most popular area that you're going to go to, where people don't really want to drive, and they will pay you $5 to walk across the street for them, grab McDonald's, and take it back up to the high rise. Now, another thing that Uber does that I kind of like is when you look at the map of your city, which will kind of show you around where you're going, and you have navigation and all that stuff to show you how to maneuver around to get to the best route and optimize your time. They will show you a grid of times and areas that will be the most active, so that way you can make the most money possible. So that's kind of a nice tool to have there that's using data from both their users and their drivers. It's mostly in my area, 6 to 9 are your busiest times, so that's when I try to go out. I don't have a Honda Civic. I do not have a Toyota Corolla. So my gas mileage is right around 16, 17 miles a gallon if I'm lucky. It's important for me to look at my gas mileage, know how much gas I'm burning, how many deliveries I'm getting out. Because if I have to fill up right before I go out or in the middle of going out, and it costs me $30, $35 to fill up my tank, and then I go out there and I only make $25, then it's not really worth it. So then I kind of try and see, okay, if I fill up today, it costs me $35 to do it, I make $25. Going out Saturday, Sunday, I really need to make good so that I balance out and I'm actually making money. I have heard stories where some people will make a fairly decent living doing just this. I've also heard where a lot of people on the forums will say, you know what, if you do Uber Eats, make sure that you're doing that just on the side, in between fares of an actual Uber, because driving people around like a taxi service will make you more money. I myself, the most I've probably made in a day was $90, $96 maybe, in an entire weekend, just around $200. So that's not too bad. So if you go out every weekend and you have 3-4 weekends in a month, you're making anywhere between $600 to $800, which is enough to put tires on your vehicle when you want to go out to the track. You do it a little bit, maybe that can help you get a part for your vehicle. That could be a car payment for you. If you have another regular job and all you have to do is work, 3 hours a day for 3 days, there you've gone through 9 hours of your weekend and you've made $600 to $800 in a month. Not incredibly bad. You still have the rest of your weekend open. Also, when you're traveling downtown, you can stop and you can check stuff out. You can get yourself some food too while you're there. I try not to eat while I'm out driving, but sometimes you go into these restaurants and you're smelling all this food and it makes you very, very hungry. And next thing you know, you want to eat it. This is new. It tells me I've been randomly selected to verify my identity and I need to pull over to a safe area. Okay. Let me take a picture of myself. Oh, I got a green check mark. I'm good. I am who I say that I am. Okay, so now I've turned it on. Got my map. It's telling me where everything is going down, and we're just going to try and wait for a ping that somebody's hungry and wants us to bring them some food. Sometimes it happens right away. Sometimes you got to drive for a little bit. It really just depends on the day and the area. One thing I have noticed with this is if the person that I'm delivering to is a car person, they tip me well. If they're not, sometimes I don't get a tip at all. And I think it's because people are already paying so much to get it delivered to you, they figure, why do I have to tip them as well? Because it's nice. Some people will tip you cash. Some people will actually tip you in the actual app itself, which is kind of nice. I prefer that. If I have cash in my pocket, I tend to spend it. If it is on the app, then I allow it just to go into my bank account. Now, there's multiple ways to get paid with this. You can set it up to so it'll be a direct deposit into your bank, or you can also put a debit card on file, which then you can do automatic withdrawals. Now, they do charge you each time that you do it, and I think there's a limit to how many times you can do it in one pay period. So there is that option. It's more of a direct pay right then and there. Curious it is. A world I am. That's my best Yoda impression. I don't know. It's not past the time. Ooh! Hey, we got a meal. Now, when you select this, you have so long to click on it because then it will go away. Okay, I actually got two to the same place. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tap on the little screen here, and then it's going to ask me to navigate to where I'm going. I'll hit that, and then it tells me where to go. God, the sun is really in my face today. Ah, there it is. Alright, so from here we just run inside and grab the food. Okay, so we picked up the orders. These ones here were ready relatively quick, which was nice. Had a couple of people in there say they liked my GTR. I guess the RTR throws them off. All right. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we just click Start to Deliveries, and it will take us to our closest delivery out of the two.
Head north on Sage Road.
Looks like we're about 5 minutes away. It's giving us directions on how to get back there.
Make a right turn on Longmont Drive.
Anyway, here's one of the hard parts of doing this is finding parking so you can do these deliveries. Where do I go to park so I can make a delivery?
Delivery for food?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you can park over here, man.
Okay. All right. Thanks.
I thought you were like a resident because like.
Just right here?
Yeah, just right here, man.
All right.
Is it standard or is it regular?
In terms of the transmission or in terms of what the car can do? Oh, so it's a RTR Spec 2. Get the right one for you. Yep, this is you.
All right, have a good day. Bye.
Now we are going on to Diane. So that was kind of neat. Didn't expect me to be a delivery driver because of the car I drive, which is funny because you never tell what type of vehicle anybody can drive or why they're in a certain circumstance of what they're doing. But he did like the car. He did believe that he has heard of our channel and he's heard of us, so that's cool. So again, it varies. One thing that you can't really tell is when you first start to do this is where all it is going to take you. It'll take you all over the city, which is one thing I do like, is it gives you the opportunity to see parts of the city that you wouldn't have normally seen. It gives you a chance to see restaurants that you probably wouldn't have been down in that area to see either. So it helps with you getting to know your surroundings. So I would say that definitely, outside of just wanting to get some money for tires or your car parts or your car bill, if you're new to a city, do Uber Eats. Because it gives you a map. You don't need to know the city. It tells you where to go and you can learn the city. You can learn about good places to eat. You can learn about fun places to go. And it's nice. And you meet a lot of interesting people as well. Some of them cool, some of them not cool. But for the most part, I would say 98% of the people that I've met doing this are super cool. When you do your deliveries, some people will put notes in the comments kind of letting you know the easiest way to find them. Like this person says, meet on 5th Street on side of building. That's helpful. Some people will put in their gate code if they live in a gated community or if they live in an apartment. However, not everyone does that. They'll put their apartment number or their house number within the community, but they don't give you a gate code to get in. So then you're kind of waiting to see if somebody else will let you in, or you're trying to text them or call them, which you can do through the app. It doesn't give them your number. It links you up through the Uber servers and puts you in contact with them. But then there's that added time of just trying to wait around for that contact. So it's very helpful. If you do good Uber Eats or Uber, make sure that you put in the comments the easiest way for that person to get to you. There's always an interesting grouping of what people want to eat throughout the night. You'll deliver pizza, ice cream, cookies, cake, cupcakes, Italian food, Hispanic food, anything that you can think of, you will probably deliver it throughout the night. So here's one thing I will say. Make sure you air out your car properly, because my car, up until when I started doing this, it smelled like a new car. And now it smells like God only knows what. Diane? Thank you. There you go. No problem. Okay, so right now I have 2 deliveries. Like I said, this one here is going to someplace called Pokeworks, picking up 2 stops. I had already agreed to one, and on my way there, like a minute out, it's now asked me if I want to grab another one. Of course I'm going to. Now, sometimes the app might mess up a little bit where it tells you, oh, hey, you're still just picking up one. However, when you go into your details, it will show you that you do have 2 deliveries, and you can show them both those codes so you can pick up both deliveries. And then once you go out and you hit start delivery, it's going to send you right back to the restaurant and say pick up 2 deliveries. And all you got to do is recheck that you picked up those deliveries, and you'll be good to go. And both of them will show up on your map that you need to take them out. I'm just picking up for Catherine and Oliver. No problem. Oh, here you go. No problem. You too. Only in Houston. Little house, little house. Engines. Hi, I'm picking up an order for Kayla.
get away from the anger and raise my base. The daily is the mates and the carriage.
Okay, so I'm done doing Uber. This video is not sponsored by Uber. They didn't pay me to do this outside of what they pay me in fares like they would anybody else. So this is just my honest opinion of how things went. I started filming this on Friday. It is now Sunday, so it's been 3 days. I've averaged maybe 3.5, I would say. And I made $164 just about. That's with fares and tips all put in together. So really not too bad for considering I spent 9 hours out of my weekend doing this. So a few takeaways I have from this are: make sure you have a fuel efficient vehicle. If you don't, well, then you have to worry about fuel costs. For me, I did have to fill up a couple times, so that's going to cut into what I made. Make sure that you have a car that you're not worried that you're going to bottom out. In my city, I went through a lot of areas where there was dips, ruts. The roads are really crappy in downtown Houston. So my bumper is actually damaged now from taking all the hits. So I will have to repair that, which sucks. So it's not bad. It is good side money. It is enough that you could do a car payment, get tires for your car, or do entry fees into events. Again, I do not think it's great for a full-time job, but if you do have a Prius or a electric car and you don't have a lot of cost in gas and things like that, it might be better for you. But from my standpoint, use it to make a little bit of money on the side. Get yourself a day job and then go have fun at the track with your Uber money. Place was fancy. Had a nice view of the city, but it smells like they test weed in there. Like, it was so pungent that I'm not even sure if I should be driving right now. Over there's a giant mountain, and over in front of me there's another giant mountain that I have to drive down. Who designs this crap? I'm pretty sure one of my wheels left the ground as I was trying to go down the other one. This is insane. So I just delivered within this big old building right here, and went into an elevator to the 23rd floor, and oddly enough, it smelled really badly like farts in there.